Is it working? This is Sammy Pierre Douay from Goat Whore, and you're listening to Tales from the Riff podcast, and your mother said she's coming home late.
Help out.
Yeah. Hey, yeah.
So, welcome back to another episode of Tales from the Riff. And joining me today is Mr. Jason Ogle of Electric Age, formerly of what other bands you had?
Leak, Guilt Trip, Tree Frog, Black Market Halos.
Yeah.
He goes on and on.
Man, so thanks for making the drive out to Baton Rouge. I mean, I offered, to go out there.
Oh, it's no problem. George Porter's playing today, so.
Oh, yeah, at festival. That's right. You talked about that.
Yeah. I mean, the bass player for the Meters, you got to go check that out.
Hopefully, it doesn't stay too wet out there.
I checked the weather; it's supposed to come through. Blow through
again?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
No, I mean it's gonna blow through.
Mm-hmm. So, man, let's just jump right into it. Let's just, what was it like coming up in the, I guess, in the Louisiana metal scene? You're a little older than me. We discussed that. I don't want to give away just how older you are.
But, too old now.
But what was it like, man? Just coming up.
Well, I mean, for me, I started. I don't remember when I learned how to play guitar. To be honest, my dad played. There was always music around, and I don't remember learning like G, C, D. It just seems like I always knew how to play a guitar somewhat.
Yeah.
And then there's baby pictures of me playing drum sets, like a little Mickey Mouse drum set and stuff like that. And then I just started, I just gravitated to it. I could hear things. I mean, I was picking out like the first Boston record,
Yeah.
I heard the bass lines on that for some reason. And I could hear production on stuff. And I just always was trying to record stuff or bang on something or,
Mm-hmm.
And I guess like everybody's story, you kind of wind up on your own in your room until you meet somebody.
Yeah.
That one friend that has another guitar. Or
right.
Somebody has this.
Somebody has a guitar, an instrument that has a like mind as yourself.
But my dad was a big influence because he always had guitars around. Not drum sets, really. And then I started school band. I started playing drums. And went to like first chair snare drum, like middle school.
Yeah.
Got so bored with that, I was like, hey, can I play tuba? And the band instructor was like...
That's pretty daring of you.
My mom didn't appreciate it. But the band instructor was like, well, yeah, if you learn how to play tuba on the side, not during class. And I said, so I took it home and learned tuba lines, which I guess translated into bass later, not knowing then. So I learned how to play tuba. I couldn't play it now to save my life, but and about middle school is when I started, finding people that played. And one day I was going down the road on my bike, and I don't know what shirt I had on, a Van Halen shirt or something. And this other kid's come down the road, and he's got on like an Ingve shirt.
Oh, wow.
And our bikes stop, and we look at each other, and we're like, dude, hey, man. And it was Jimmy Hudson. He wound up playing with Four Magnitros.
Mm-hmm.
He plays on their first record. Brilliant guitar player. Great guitar player. But he's like, hey, man, come back to my house. I got a guitar. I'm like, no way. I got a guitar, too. So we go back to his house, and I'll never forget he put out a tab book. I'd never seen a tab book.
Yeah.
I didn't know what one was.
All right.
But my dad had taught me all open chords. So I knew how to do full bar chords, all the minors, everything. So he opens up the book, and he shows me a power chord. And I said, I only got to hit 2 strings? I've been doing this all this time. And I learned, like, Rock You Like a Hurricane or something.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, man, if I'd have known I could just hit 2 notes, that would have been... But I thank my dad for giving me hand strength and showing me the bar chords and all that. So from there, we were looking for a drummer,
Mm-hmm.
And in middle school, this guy his older brother had a drum set. So we went to some trailer, that was my first jam. And I was like, wow, we played like Detroit Rock City, probably terrible, but we're both playing guitar. And Detroit Rock City has that bass line. His older brother had a band apparently, so there was an old bass in the corner, which is probably worth a lot of money now. I don't know what it was, Olympic or something. So I grabbed it, and from that point on, I just
kept rolling with the bass.
Once I put it in my hands, it felt right.
Yeah,
it was just like, because my dad never had a bass around the house or anything like that. And Jimmy got so good on guitar. As soon as he started learning like the Randy Rhoads leads, he was gone. So from that point on, I was a bass player, and it just kept going. I guess in your early bands too, we call them the junior high school bands.
Yeah,
with the terrible names. Like what do we have? Wicked Blitz. Vengeance, Guardian, all those bands.
Vengeance and Guardian sounds very thrashy.
Well, that's when we were moving to thrash.
Yeah,
because early on we could only Crazy Train, Living After Midnight, Breaking the Law, like the easy stuff that you could actually play.
You had posted a picture on Facebook a while back with like you were like. You had an Iron Maiden shirt, and you had the super power mullet, and I was like, dude, look at Ogle right here.
I was probably 15.
Oh yeah,
16.
In the height of fucking Steve Harris. Yeah.
That's when because we were playing the first stuff, and once I got into Rush and Maiden, that's when I learned how to play bass.
Yeah.
I always say, and I told somebody this morning, Kiss made me want to play music. Rush taught me how to play music.
Really?
In those early bands, like I was saying, you go through guys that, a lot of kids want to play, and those high school bands kind of weed out the people that, are not going to play for a minute. Mm-hmm. The better kids get together, and the next better, it just works out like that. So I just started moving through the ranks, I guess, of finding who wanted to actually do it.
Right.
And started playing. I think my first gig was in like the middle school gym. We bombed. It was terrible. It was sad. I don't even remember who played it, but I know I sang and like.
Did the crowd cheer for y'all at least? I mean,
it was
had some friends making noise.
No.
Oh man, it's terrible.
We weren't even a real band.
Oh shit!
It was like a talent show or something. We did do another talent show after that. Once I got my first kind of band together.
Yeah.
It was in the middle school gym, and we were doing "Am I Evil" by Metallica.
Diamond Head.
Yeah. I didn't know back then.
Right.
And that was like the easiest Metallica song to play.
Oh, yeah.
And it comes at the part, yes, I fucking am. Well, it's being judged by the local country station. Yeah. And I'm at a very conservative school at this point. And I'm looking and I'm like, should I say it or should I not? What'd I do? I just said, yes, I fucking am.
Damn.
Disqualified. Some dude with like a ukulele one.
Good for him.
We had a great. All our friends thought we were cool. I guess I don't know. But started doing that, and then started doing. There were some teen clubs in Baton Rouge. We couldn't really get into bars yet. We were talking to bars, or I was trying to get us in, but and like, dude, there was one bar where we were supposed to play. Pantera came through there.
Oh, really?
They came through there on Cowboys, and I didn't even know it.
Holy shit!
Yeah, and I find out later. I'm like, Pantera played here. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But nobody knew about them.
Right.
They probably played Baton Rouge before then, just when they had the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because there used to be a circuit with, what was his name? Big J. He had Razor White and
all that
hair metal stuff. But I went through that and, got into Guardian, which was basically a Metallica cover band.
Oh, yeah?
We started playing Master of Puppets and because we had a better drummer, we had a better, everything. And I was still singing. Thank God there's no video of it. It was bad. But nobody else would do it.
Yeah, so you had to step up. That's just the way it is.
And then I guess my first real band that I consider would be Execution, which was death metal. Because it kind of went from thrash, then death metal hit, and we all started kind of getting into
So this is like 91, 93 time frame?
Yeah. Yeah, Execution would have been 91, 92, somewhere up in there. At the end of my high school bands, I also started doing sound for bands.
Right.
And did a lot of that. Did top 40 bands. Did some arena stuff. Did Exhorter, like, when they were on their first record, which was cool.
Yeah.
You know, and did shit. Kenny Rogers.
Damn,
I didn't run a house for Kenny, but I was working, like, getting in arenas, working, doing monitors for B.B. King and all kind of people. So I was making money doing that.
Hell yeah.
Because I had roommates, and it's like, if I worked 2 nights a week, made $100 or whatever it was back then, that's enough for me to live on a week.
Right. Yeah.
No bills. But just worked doing that, and then once I got an Execution, that was Lance Strickland was in that band with me. He went into Suture. I don't know if you've heard of Suture.
Mm-mm.
Oh, they're killer. We did that, and that's when we started playing New Orleans. That was the first band that I got out of town with.
Okay.
You know, New Orleans, Biloxi.
So let's back up a little bit. Like, what was the transition like for you personally? Like, what got you convinced that death metal was your thing? Like, was it just like you always favored the extreme sounds of death metal, and like, or you know, the faster you got to play?
Yeah. Because, I mean, I like, Slayer, and, it just got heavier and heavier. But I came from more melodic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I say Boston, Cheap Trick, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Seeing Van Halen when I was 12 just blew my mind.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, to watch Eddie Van Halen, like, 80 feet away at 12 years old.
Damn.
I mean, but it got heavier and heavier. Then I got into death metal. But then I really got out of it pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just... To me, it kind of hit, where do you go from here?
Who was the band you were following as far as death metal is concerned?
I was always into Malevolent.
Oh, okay.
That was my favorite death metal band. And, of course, Deicide, Suffocation, the early stuff.
Yeah.
Which wound up doing, I did house sound for a club in Baton Rouge called Papa Joe's.
I remember that.
Yeah, I was their house sound man. So we wound up doing Morbid Angel and Suffocation, Death.
Damn.
Bunch of bands.
All the fucking Florida legends, dude.
Well, but that was at a transition time, too, where, because that would have been 93, 94. Marilyn Manson came through there.
Oh.
That's a weird cat, man.
Oh, bro, that's all I hear. That's all I hear. Like, I've heard many stories of Marilyn Manson. And it's kind of funny you bring that up because I was watching on YouTube, John 5 was his guitar player, and like on stage, you got Marilyn Manson picking fights with his guitar player for no fucking reason, just to be stage antics and just being.
He was weird.
He's a weird dude.
I hung out with him for a full day, and that was enough. Because at first it was like, all right, I mean, I've heard of this guy. We're hanging out, we're doing this and that, and like, all right, you're really weird.
Yeah,
like, you're really not that cool.
Yeah.
Then he pulled his dick out on stage, and I was like, yeah, I'm not into this. I'm just all right. And I didn't get it anyway. And he was that was one of those deals where they had signed the contract before he broke.
Yeah.
So he had broke pretty much at that point, but he still had to do the club show.
Right.
And the sound men were bitching because I'm in charge of house. So, this PA, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, I mean, you're not playing Madison Square Garden. I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
You will be probably, but
yeah,
don't bitch at me. We did a bunch of shows there, though. It was cool because my band, I had moved to Guilt Trip at that time, which was another death metal band. And we got all the killer opening slots since I worked there.
Yeah.
Got to open for Morbid Angel and Immolation.
You got to hang out with Trey at all?
No, well, yeah, but not really. I hung out with Vincent.
Vincent?
Yeah.
David,
yeah. Told him to bet up on the poker machine. He won, so we were like cool after that.
Oh, cool, man.
He was super cool. who else was 6 Feet Under, which I was pumped about because I'm like, Chris Barnes is gonna be here. He never watched us. He sat on the tour bus.
Yeah.
I could see he's watching The Simpsons as we were playing.
just probably smoking weed and watching
Yeah.
The Simpsons.
He didn't want to hear us.
No.
But he was super nice. Death was cool. That was really cool. And what was weird is we're sound checking Death. I think I wound up doing monitors because everybody had their own sound man, but I was in charge of getting them all set up.
Right.
So Death's up there, and they're like, man, you know who's opening tonight? I'm on the side of the stage. Who? Acid Bath. Man, that's awesome. I'm like, Death knows who Acid Bath is?
Wow.
Because
Yeah.
to me, Acid Bath and my friends is just like
Exactly.
local band.
Yeah.
And they were all excited and stuff, so that was cool. And then Acid Bath showed up, and they were in Metal Maniacs. And they were like, dude, look at this. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
And they were blowing up. But yeah, we played a bunch of gigs in those two bands that were a bunch of with Acid Bath, Exhorter, you know, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Dead Horse. And, one of the things that popped, we were playing with Morbid Angel. Me and the singer standing outside.
Uh-huh.
Club's filling up. David Duke, do you know those?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I remember David Duke.
Okay. Nothing but metalheads.
Oh, God.
Here comes David Duke
Holy shit.
in a suit. We're standing
Like a
there.
clan suit?
No, well, I still don't know what was going on with this to this day.
Oh, my God.
Full blown regular suit.
Yeah.
Walks past us. I look at the guitar player. I said, was that David Duke? We both looked at each other the same, you know.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Go in there. He's backstage hanging out with Morbid Angel.
What?
And I asked one of them, probably David. Man, what's up? Oh, he's a friend of ours.
Oh?
Like, well, this just got weirder.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
So he came out to see Morbid Angel.
That is wild shit.
I didn't ask much more. I was just like, all right.
Yeah. It's probably good you didn't
Yeah.
tap into those waters. Holy shit,
But
man.
I mean, we had some cool stuff going on in Baton Rouge. I mean, Acid Bath, of course, who would ever thought? Well, I mean, I always knew they were great.
Yeah.
I didn't think they would be. And I'm glad that they're getting recognition now.
Yeah.
But-
It's about time.
Well, the internet, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really helped them.
Yeah, I mean, like in the past, I'd say 5-6 years. I mean, I've seen more and more like young kids,
Yes.
like around. I mean, anywhere from 16 to like 27 or some shit. Like just toting the Acid Bat, gear, the merch and all and everything like that, and being a friend of Sammy's and just watching how like his social media just got so big, people just, hey man, like they'll tag him in something and like have Acid Bat playing in the background. Like I was like, dude, that's fucking awesome.
Yes.
It's well deserved.
I wish they'd get some money for it.
I really did. Yeah, I really wish they would. Too.
Somebody asked, I think it was Lonnie, or one of them asked a good question the other day on one of those groups. If something happens to the owner, what happens to the contract?
Yeah.
Does it revert?
Yeah.
I'd like to know that.
I'm sure he has lawyers that got
Yeah,
got some kind of fucking contractual stay or clause in
I've
place.
heard they've sold over 150,000 copies of Kite String. So
Yeah.
you do the math on that.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
that's a lot of money. Yeah,
But they didn't. And I remember playing one show with them, and me and Audie were tight because we're both bass players, you know,
yeah,
and other things, extracurricular stuff.
Yeah.
But he was like, "Man, we just got signed to Rotten Records," and I was like, "Really?" And I directly sent, I think it was Execution. I sent our tape to Rotten, which they didn't sign us, thankfully.
Yeah.
Not that we would have blown up, but we'd have signed whatever they gave us. Because
Yeah.
back then we really didn't know. You
Yeah.
know? We'd be like, "Oh yeah, dude," so we just signed it, and no telling.
All right, that was the biggest thing, like back in, like for a young band back in the
Just to
'90s,
get signed.
just to get signed.
Yes. Yeah. Now I've done it twice, and it's not all it's cracked up to be now. It's not that cool at all. I mean, it's not bad, but yeah, just I kind of got out of death metal at that point. I wanted to find a real singer. I hate to say real because it's not like they're not real singers,
Right,
You
right.
know? And when I say that, people, I don't
Like,
mean-
like a well-rounded vocalist,
melodic singer.
melodic singer.
Yeah.
I got you.
because that's more where my roots came from. It's kind of like I did the pissed off, heavy teenage, then got into death metal, and I just wanted to get kind of back to, melodic music, and that's when I got with Leak. I was looking for two singers, and back then we didn't have cell phones, so of course, it was hard to find somebody.
Mm-hmm.
They had asked me to join the band, and I said no. But then Guilt Trip ended right after that. And at the end of Guilt Trip, I offered to play 2 nights at Zeppelin's with Acid Bath, with a hotel room and everything. And I was like, dude, let's go out on this note.
Right.
I mean, we know it's going to be packed.
It's going to be packed.
Yeah, it's going to be insane.
It's going to be insane after parties. Don't tell them what's going to happen.
Exactly. And the drummer wouldn't do it.
The fuck's wrong with him?
That's what we said. That's exactly what we said. Right, so I went and found Leak. And Leak was a band that is actually, due to the internet now, having a resurgence. And
yeah, dude.
It's crazy. I get asked more about that band, I think, than any band I've ever been in.
Wow.
And there's that guy, Josh, that does a lot of media stuff with Sammy,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's helped push it, too.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Because he's putting up everybody's old bands.
Yeah, man. I tell you, that kid, Josh, man, he's a young kid, because he's younger than us, somewhere in Massachusetts.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he was local.
No. I thought he was, too. For the longest time, because, him and Sammy had this relationship, over Instagram, and I was like, dude, I was like, how do you know this cat? He's like, he's just a fan of the music, and he just, everything that Louisiana, New Orleans, surrounding areas that put out, he's into it. Everything. And he finds the shit. Good for him.
I don't know where he's getting it, because he
Google. I asked him myself. I said, Josh, where are you getting all this shit? He's like, Google, bro. I was like, damn.
I didn't know like the Leak stuff, and after that I went into Slaves of Freedom. He's got all that stuff, the full albums, and I'm like, okay, I didn't even know they were out there. Really, I mean, they were on like SoulSeek and Napster. Well, not Napster, but all those old
the file sharing programs that came out.
Dude, I had to actually, I'm against downloading now. I thought it was cool at first.
Yeah,
Lars is right, but.
Everyone hates to admit that these days, but dude, he was right.
Yes, he was very right.
Yeah.
And he had enough clout to make but anyway, screw Lars. I had to download something for my son. Mm-hmm. So I went on one of the old sites that I trusted. And, dude, I got a whole album in like 15 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, really?
Yeah.
I used to wait hours.
Yeah. Yeah, it's terrible.
It was crazy. But, yeah, Leak was we had a lot of fun at Leak. Leak was a band that was pretty just, I don't know. We had 3 really headstrong guys. Mm-hmm. Joel Cangelosi plays in 4MAG. Mm-hmm. He's a singer, guitar player. He was a guitar player. Me and a guy named Ryan Gibbs singing. We got the one CD, thankfully, that we did get. It's not mixed as good as I'd like it because I had one night to mix it. Mm. Like we did it in the studio, and I had one night to go in there. I think the dude was tired of us. We had aggravated him enough. It was like, all right, go in there and mix it. So I had to go in there and do it in one night and can't hear the bass. So
shit.
I knew instead of myself.
Oh, damn.
Well, I was using my buddy's, we were using his truck to check the mixes.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, dude, is the bass loud enough? He's like, yeah, it's fine. Because I didn't know his system. No, it wasn't. You can't. Actually, the version I think that Josh put up, you could hear the bass a little.
Okay.
I was like, wow, okay. But that band was great, man. We played a bunch of good shows. Did some crazy, crazy stuff. But it only lasted like 2 years.
Damn.
But everybody still talks about it. We've talked about doing a reunion over the years, and it's just like nobody wants to see 50-year-old League.
And it's something to be said about bands like Leak and Acid Bat that only had like the short-lived run.
It was it was kind of explosive.
Yeah, both all the bands that I came up listening to, like Acid Bat, Leak, Infant Slug. Yeah, it's like everything was just like short-lived, but bro, it's like it exploded. It was just like y'all caught lightning in a bottle. Yes. It was wild.
That's what I would like, but wish we had more business sense with Leak, but we were all wild and crazy, and I mean Leak has a part in Goat Horse story.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were playing a show, and with Kilgore. No,
Yeah.
no. How's it go? It's been a while. We were playing. Well, we played with Kilgore, because like Audie used to always say, "Man, I got this side band shroom." You know, and I'm like, "Okay, well, 2 basses." I'm like, 2 basses, all right. And I actually set up a show for shroom with Leak right before he passed. That was going to go down, and of course, it didn't go down. And then Sammy's, dude, I got Kilgore, bro. You know? So we started playing with them and having them on shows. Well, he came to see us play on Chime Street in Baton Rouge, and the singer got into something with one of the guys on Chime Street. So we go up.
Kilgore singer or
No, our singer and Leak.
Oh, okay.
Sammy's just hanging out.
Okay.
You know, just at the show, hanging out. So he gets into it with some dude. I'm not paying attention to him. I think he hit the guy. Yeah, that's what it was. He hits the guy a couple times, gets on stage, and he's like, "Let's go." Played a set. When we get off, I exit to go do whatever. He gets jumped. Sammy's right there. Sammy gets jumped.
Is that the night that someone broke Sammy's jaw? Yes. Oh shit!
So I walk off the stage, and actually, I was going to talk to a girl that turned out to be my ex-wife. Mm-hmm. And
great cow.
Shut up. So I didn't know what was going on. This whole brawl goes down. I'm across the street. I come back around, and it's just amazing. I mean, just crazy. Sammy's jaw's wired shut. He goes to the hospital in Baton Rouge. We try to figure it all out. You know, the whole thing goes down. And that's how Ben wound up. They had whatever shows, and he just said, "Ben, you sing," and then boom. And my guitar player from Guilt Trip, Ben Stout, joined Goat Horse too. Mm-hmm. Then he went into Silent Green. He did one record with them. And he played with Graveyard Radio too. I forget about that.
Damn.
Now he's not doing anything. Well, I think he still does stuff. I haven't talked to him in a while. Mm-hmm. Just nothing like playing out. But did that, and gosh, I think after that, everybody pretty much, well, except for Joel, probably wound up in rehab.
That makes sense. It just comes to territory, I suppose, being down here.
Yeah. We were like 26 or so by the time we get out of it. So that was, 24, 25, 26 area. Yeah. Everybody's like, kind of. Then I started looking at getting a real job. And I kind of quit for a year or two. But that band, that was probably the most, well, I wouldn't say the most. Execution was probably the most fun out the gate because we got to go out of town and do stuff that I had never done. You know? And Leak was the most just force in nature. Mm-hmm. If we were on, it was on. Yeah. You know? And the singer was fantastic. Shout out, if Ryan listens to this, I don't know why he's not singing right now. He's climbing those high-ass cell phone towers.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. He's crazy, I'm telling you.
I thought about doing that. One of my neighbors, when I got out the Marine Corps Reserve, he was doing it, and he had offered me a position with his company, and I was like, "You got to climb how high?" Like,
where they go, 300, 250?
At least, yeah. And and then they'll go from stuff out of state too. My neighbor at the time, he was doing a bunch of stuff in Florida. Because a lot of cell services are based out of Florida for some reason. It was at the time, and I was like, dude, no, I'm great with heights, but it's just the falling factor kind of fucking freaks me out.
Well, there's because I do work for fire department, so we have pretty big ladders, 100 foot. Yeah. And they're not sitting on anything. So in your mind, if it's not against a wall, kind of makes it different. But everybody's scared of heights. It's just what point do you become scared? Yeah. Some people, my son will barely go up a 8-foot ladder. Uh-huh. I get scared over 100. More now probably because I haven't done it in a while. But the older I get, the less,
Yeah, I just don't think about it sometimes. I always kind of prided myself as being like a kind of a adrenaline junkie because I mean,
yeah.
I was in the Marines for crying out loud, and in the infantry, and then like after that, like one of my first oil field jobs was in Halliburton coiled tubing, and dude, like we would have to fucking go up like high ass derricks. We get in like the full body harness, and they would just like launch our ass in a little elevator, bro, just going so fucking high to like just deal with the coil tubing injector and like making sure that the tools and the pipe goes down in the well successfully and all that shit. And like I wish I could have took pictures of where I was at on the drill sites, man, because I mean it was fucking high up, and there was only one time where I got legit scared on the job because it was in the middle of February. It was fucking cold. It was at nighttime. The wind was gusting somewhere in the Gulf. And I was like, dude, this is the night I'm probably going to die. But I didn't.
Yeah. I've been in those situations, kind of, but never in the Gulf. That would make it a little different, for sure.
Fucking, like anywhere from 10 to 13 foot seas in the Gulf, dude. Yeah. It was.
I've been as far out as I want to go in the Gulf.
It was not pleasant.
Depending on what kind of boat I'm in. Being the drummer for Leak almost sank a boat in the Gulf. Well, right off of Grand Isle, but that was stupid.
Oh shit! That's deep water.
Yeah,
though.
we had a small boat.
Yeah.
It was just stupid. We shouldn't have been out there.
Yeah.
I don't know what we were thinking.
Anywhere you launch out of Grand Isle, Fouchon, dude. Like you once you pass the jetties, you're like in 500 foot of water.
Yeah, and we're in like I don't know, probably a 16-foot bass boat. Like, we should not have been. Yeah. Turn around. Bailing water out the back of it.
Shit.
Yeah, it was horrible. But, we weren't thinking that much.
Yeah. But you had some good music playing, though.
I don't remember.
No.
The drummer for Leak, he was an individual man. He could fix anything. He could make anything.
Yeah.
Dude would fix like when the light bulb would break, he'd fix it. Yeah, I don't know. He would just do miraculous stuff. We would. I wish he would play. I haven't talked to him in years. Like say that we've talked about a reunion. Me and Joel have, and the singer, but it's kind of like Acid Bath. I mean, because we did a thing with Acid Bath a few years ago. Well, it was like a tribute to Acid Bath.
You're right.
At Twist the Lime.
Is what was that the show where Kyle Regler was singing and Mike Sanchez played guitar?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's like I don't know if anybody wants to see 50-year-old Leak or 55-year-old. Well, I don't think Mike and him are quite 55. Or
Maybe not second guess yourself and just
well,
just put it out there, man.
Some of these guys, well, like Kyle out right now. They're in Europe right now and still doing it.
They're all broken.
Yeah.
Poor guys.
I know.
I've been keeping up with them on Facebook, and I saw Jason's back is an issue, and the stand-in.
Jason had a 6mm. What do you call it? Kidney stone.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, he was stuck in Hamburg in hospital, and flew back. He didn't even join the tour.
Yeah.
So he's back here now.
And then their stand-in guitar player, they had
he
broke his foot or something.
I'm like, jeez,
man. So they have like a they have a revolving cast of players that's like standing in for them while they're on this tour.
But they're gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
I think they're finishing up soon. But I love Exhorter. I'm curious to hear the new record. We'll see.
Yeah, me too.
It was fun playing with them back then. The first time I did them, I was running sound for them. There was a club called The Pit, and it was like a teen club in Baton Rouge. And they called me in because I was running sound at that, like say back in 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, running sound for everybody.
So that's when you guys started with sound?
Yeah.
At 16 years?
I really, as a kid, I had a reel to reel, and I was trying to figure out how to make it. I was always trying to figure out how to record something or make it work or how to wire a stereo together. I always did.
See, I was always interested in that aspect of music, the industry anyways, like just like how to record, how to set all the levels
Yeah.
correct, and when you're mixing and the mastering, and all, I mean, it's an ongoing project of mine, so I'm just curious, like, how you or anyone else gets started in that venture, man, and like I want some tips.
Trial and error.
Yeah.
But like I said, I could always hear. I said the first Boston record. If you go listen to that record, listen to the guitar layering. I don't know if you've really noticed it.
I mean, I'm hearing it in my mind right now as you talk about it.
Go back and think of it from an engineering standpoint. Okay. A friend of mine, he got into it, and he's probably your age. I think he's exactly your age, and he loves it now, and he gets it. But I could always hear like this doubled or that doubled or keyboard lines. It's just always. And then we would have these little jam boxes, and I'd set it up and be like, "Oh, it doesn't sound good there," so I'd put it in another part of the room.
Right.
Then I'd put a T-shirt over it because it was too loud and it was overbearing the mic to compress it, or give it some. Then I just started getting 4 tracks and just trial and error. And it was kind of cooler to learn how to record like that than it is now. I was thinking recently, because I got my studio set back up, I had to move. So I was been down for about 2 months, but I'm ready to go now. I got to finish up a record for somebody now.
So the whole studio is set up in your house?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Actually, was supposed to do a session today, but couldn't do it. Used to, we'd record, when you tracked it, and that's what I think is good about a lot of records that we have growing up and all. You track the drums, and you were kind of set to that sound.
Yeah.
See, now you can change everything on the drums. You can change triggers. You can do this. But you kind of would record drums, and it had a certain sound, and you built the record to that sound. And it made it kind of sound the way it just came out. Instead of now, you got a million options, and you can change the entire sound of everything. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
Because like I'm one of my good friends that kind of showed me the ropes with GarageBand when I first started, getting into playing music, and he was like, dude, like, you need to start with the drums first, because like, set your time, and your tempo and all that, and then like from there, you just, you could dictate, the riffs you're playing, so I got into that, and I just recently purchased the Presonus Studio One.
Yeah, that's what I used.
That's what you use?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Because I'll be done with this. You can show me some shit.
Yeah, I've been through all of my Logic. I used Cubase for years, which I still like Cubase.
Yeah.
Pro Tools, and of course, Pro Tools is an industry standard.
Right.
A lot of people have gotten to the other ones. Reaper, I've never messed with. Cakewalk, not really, but Presonus is from Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
I know a lot of those guys. So
yeah,
Studio One, I kind of went with. At first, I didn't really like it, just change. But now I'm fine with it.
It was heavily suggested to me by Sammy and Brian, who we were talking about earlier.
Well, Brian, yeah.
And Brian was like swearing by it, man. He's like, dude, it takes all the guesswork out of everything, and
they took a different approach. Is really like the MIDI stuff is easy. Programming drums is easy. I don't know if you use Easy Drummer or anything like that.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
it's so simple.
Yeah,
I got my electronic set, and when I just plug it up, it reads everything, and I just start playing, and it writes all the MIDI out for me, and it's ridiculous how easy it is.
Yeah, that's fucking wild, man.
But I was starting on like Cubase 1.3 or something, and it was like totally different. But it was cool to learn from analog stuff in the transition. But I do kind of want to do a record where, maybe mix it through the board, get more analog stuff. Because, like I say, once you recorded drums back in the day, you were kind of married to that sound, and then you built on that sound. And I think that albums had more character. Because now, like, when I put on Liquid Metal, they all sound the same.
They all sound the same.
Like Lawrence Shore and all the sound.
I didn't even listen to that.
I mean, I'm just saying the sound.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Like,
it's
a lot
ridiculously good, but overbearing.
Yeah, it's like super polished.
Yes.
You know, and that's why I really love listening to Dark Throne.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you listen to Dark Throne at all, okay, but you look at their albums and like the sound changes from album to album. Like maybe not so much the last two, because I want to say the last two albums they recorded at one of their friends' studios in like somewhere middle of Norway, and like it sounds completely old school.
Yeah.
And like really raw sounding.
Well, that's
fucking love
what they want.
That's what they want.
Sammy had called me up for what turned out to be Ritual Killer, I think. He's like, dude, I want you to record. And I was like, all right, well, what do you want to do? I want it to sound like shit. I said, dude, I don't want to do an album that sounds like shit. Dude, I want it to sound like, And I'm like, so he wound up doing it. I don't know if it was actually the record that came out or the demos. I don't remember. That was a long time ago. But a couple of years later, he put out that record.
I mean, like all the Ritual Killer music that I've heard, it sounds raw as fuck.
That's
like,
what he was wanting.
Yeah,
when he said shit, he was
yeah. It's like Exterminates definitely is like abrasive, and it just like holy shit.
See, I want to do like a country band or just something sonically I haven't done. I got pigeonholed into metal. Because I was like the metal guy. Me, Brian, from Reptilian War Machine.
Yeah.
Me and him were like the only dudes that could record.
Really?
Well,
in the Baton Rouge area?
Well, yeah, and Chad Kelly. So it was like us three.
Okay.
If you wanted a record that sounded good, now everybody can record, which is great.
Yeah.
It was too much on us.
Yeah.
But forgot where I was going with that.
You want to do something different, is what you're saying.
Oh, yeah. I just got pigeonholed into being a metal guy. It's like, no, man, give me a blues band I can make them sound. Because there's so much sonic room. You get Dark Throne, and it's like, where do you go? Kind of like when I got tired of death metal, which I still listen to death metal. But where do you go sonically at this point? You're kind of stuck. Give me a blues band, man. I could work on guitar tones, all that kind of stuff. But offered to do a country guys record, and we're talking about that, so that might happen. It's like outlaw country. I'm like, that would be right up my alley.
I've been listening to a lot of outlaw country lately, like old shit.
It's not really my thing, but I
man,
want to do it.
You need to get into some Johnny Paycheck. I love Johnny Paycheck. I love, and then like I just found, I was years old when I found out that fucking George Jones is a Marine.
Really?
I did not know that.
I didn't either.
I never knew that. And like, look, my grandpa was like, he's the one who turned me on to George Jones, and I was like, shit, fucker was a Marine. That explains so much. That explains a drinking problem.
Oh, yeah. Well, all those dudes are real.
Yeah, man.
My daughter listens to what's that dude, Morgan Wallen. God, it's horrible.
I don't know anything about it. I just know like horrible. I saw in the news that people were like up in arms because he had to cancel a show in Mississippi.
Yeah.
So
I know I looked up ticket price because she loves him. And I love her. So
well, yeah.
$800. A ticket. That's what I said.
What?
$800. I was like, well, he's not gonna last long, probably. So make it while you can, I guess.
God damn.
That's what.
Where was this show at?
I don't remember. It was somewhere within Rouge, Tennessee, maybe. Somewhere where we could get there pretty quick.
Oh, okay.
But I was like,
that's
that's not gonna happen.
A ticket, dude. Like he's not even Taylor Swift. What the fuck?
I'd rather see her actually.
You know what? Truth be told, I did see Taylor Swift in New Orleans.
Yeah.
With my wife. That was quite the experience. Yeah. It really was. Like, would I do it again? Probably not. I've never been to a boy band concert, so that was like the closest. It was probably worse because you had women from age, I'd say 5, maybe even 4 to 55, just screaming at the top of their lungs for Taylor Swift, dude.
White girl drunk.
Oh God, yes. And Bruh, it's like just these pierce, like, it was nightmare fuel for me because I that's all I could hear was fucking screaming, you know.
Not the Beatles.
No, she's bigger than fucking Beatles at this point, man. Like, whenever you have people waiting 8 hours in front of their computer screen for, like, you know, the ticket to access the the ticket sales, I mean, that's saying something right there. All right. Anyway, good for her.
Yeah.
But
I haven't had to go through one of those yet, but it's still.
oh, it's coming.
I went to Journey for my daughter. That was it was good. But I forget how much tickets were. Go down there, get a hotel room, do the whole deal. Go down there. Toto comes out. They were great because they have Steve Lukather playing guitar. He's been on every album, there is. And then Journey comes out. Yeah, she's 8 years old this time. Loves Journey, and I'm like, okay,
That's wild.
oh yeah, but it's cool, because I realized, wow, this music has transcended so many generations.
Right.
Well, they come out, and she just like got tears almost coming down her eyes, and I'm like, I did it, great dad moment.
Yeah.
She goes, Daddy, that's not the real singer.
Wow.
I'm like, well, yeah, you see, but she was pissed.
Well, I saw Steve Perry's actually like what the release of new material.
I saw he did something with
Like-
Dolly Parton.
That's it. Yeah.
Open Arms. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey.
And then Nikki Sixx played with Dolly. I don't know what Dolly's doing, a rock album or something. But she's Dolly, so she can
Yeah,
do
she's
whatever
good for it, man. She's,
She's cool.
But going back to your recording prowess, you got anyone that's like who you record? Can I ask who you're recording?
Right. Yeah, right now it's Branded for Exile.
Okay.
It's a band out about Gonzalez.
All right.
Have you heard of them? They're it's good.
I think I seen a flyer for them or something. Did they play a show recently?
Yeah, well they played they played somewhere I can't remember. But yeah, I mean since pandemic they've been, getting back out there.
Yeah.
And singer had to move. Well, he bought some property, he didn't have to move. He bought some property and it's getting set up there. So they're gonna have their own like little jam studio practice room thing. But yeah, the records we got 4 songs to track on vocals, a couple of guitar things. The other one of the guitar players plays in Absalom, which is a band I was in for.
Yeah, I know Absalom.
Yeah, I was in that for I don't know, a while. But yeah, we're doing that, and that'll be. They were talking about they did the drums at OCD, where they did the last couple of Crowbars and Exhorter, and then they did everything else with me, all guitars and bass. So I don't know if he's gonna mix it or I'm gonna mix it. I don't know who.
Do you do any stand-in bass duty other than Electric Age?
I've played on things. I mean,
like for like recording purposes or whatnot. No.
well, I mean, like not on anybody else. I mean, not bands or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've done tons of stuff for other people, and that's one thing that's cool now. And I've been researching a lot. It looks like the internet's gotten fast enough where we can start actually jamming over the internet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's real close. If you got fiber and you got an Ethernet cord, as long as you're within like 500 miles of each other, you could jam in real time.
Yeah. That's pretty sweet. Man.
Yeah, because that opens up. I just did a cover song and had a guy sing on it that I'm probably going to release, I guess, in the next 2 weeks. It's a Beatles cover. Sounds different than the Beatles, but it's cool. So, yeah, the more collaboration like that is going to be awesome.
Are your kids interested in that realm, like recording, like you were as a child?
My daughter is not at all.
No.
No, she's into hair and nails.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. He could play a drum set when he was 4.
Wow.
But he just doesn't. He's got a guitar. He's got a whole studio, if he wants it. But he just doesn't really have an interest. But he's definitely got it. He can play. He'll probably be better than all of us, I'm sure. Well, the next generation's always supposed to be better. But I don't push it on him. I mean, if he wants to, he's got a guitar sitting there, basses, whatever he wants.
So let's talk about Electric Age. So what's new with the band?
Well, let's see. we realized recently that we've been around 10 years, so that was kind of a whoa. Because I mean, pandemic kind of made everything got so weird there.
It really did. It kind of stopped time from happening. Our lives had been completely thrown out of whack.
Yeah.
We
I did do real quick after Leak, I went to Slaves of Freedom, which has been me, Sean, that plays with Four Mag now, and that turned into Big Frank.
Mm-hmm.
After I left, they they did Mute Hound, Big Frank, and that band was great. We had a lot of fun in that one. But then that would have led up to Electric Age. And that was a Slayer concert, me and the guitar player, stand in beer line and see my old friend from high school who plays drums. Dude, we had a jam. Yeah. Which is said a million times and never happens. Everybody wants to be in a band at 1:30 at night.
Yeah.
And
there's so many good projects happen at 1:30 in the morning.
On paper.
Yeah.
And
I'm guilty of it myself, man.
We said, yeah, man, we need a jam. And we actually did. Well, me and the drummer started jamming. I wanted to play guitar. I was tired of playing bass. I'd played drums in Black Market Halos, so I got my drumming thing out, played gigs, and did all that. And I was like, I'm going to play guitar in this band. So I'm tired of playing bass, been doing it forever. And started the band, couldn't find a singer. We had, I don't know, because, it's like the older you get, it's like I was saying about going through your high school bands.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, who can sing in town. And they're usually in a band already.
Right.
Because if he's good, he's going to be in a band. So we tried out different singers, from Craigslist. And one dude came in and smelled like perfume as soon as he walked through. We're like, okay, he's not in the band. Next guy, no, you're not in the band. And one of my good friends said, try out Sean. I was like, man, Sean's playing like folk music. He had quit Black Market and was playing like Stephen Stills stuff but he came over and brought his guitar, and he's a much better guitar player than me. So boom, we started. We got a bass player or two, three bass players. I was still playing guitar. And then one of my friends said, man, y'all are ready to go. Just come play.
Mm-hmm.
Man, because when you get a band and you're ready to do that first show, sometimes you need a push.
Yeah.
Just get that first gig over with, and boom, you get to go after that.
Yeah.
We're playing Spanish Moon, whatever day. Just do it. I'm booking y'all. All right, we'll do it. Well, the night or the day before, I go to practice, and it was the last practice before the show with that bass player. Pull up, and they're both sitting in the driveway on the concrete, drinking a beer, just looking like their puppy died. I'm like, what's wrong?
Yeah.
Bass player can't make it.
Uh-huh.
What? What do you mean he can't make it? He can't make it. I said, where's he at? Ironically enough, he was in Lafayette. We're not in Lafayette.
Right.
I'm like, man, what? And I just sit down. I'm like, well, his bass is still in there, huh? He said, yeah. So let's do it. Went in there, played the songs, recorded it on a little Tascam.
Mm-hmm.
We listened back, and we said, let's do it. So the second time I ever played bass for Electric Age was a gig.
Damn, dude.
I'd never played. I mean, I just followed the guitar lines.
Yeah.
And that's how that band started. And we, that first record, God, it's like an hour and something long. Big concept record. We're like, dude, we're going to make a concept record. Terrible idea. Don't do that. It's a terrible idea. I mean, it's got a lot of good stuff on it, but it took so long.
For those people that don't know what Electric Age is sonically sounds like, what's the best way to describe it?
We just got asked that the other day. The girl was saying COC, Sword. We've heard Thin Lizzy. We've heard Louisiana Southern metal.
Yeah.
Skinner metal. I don't. Because we don't have any screaming.
Yeah.
I think there's one scream on one song.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not really a scream. So I was, just bluesy. I hate to say, down or this or that, because everybody.
Yeah.
But, I mean, dude, we're from here. And
Yeah,
that's what we sound like.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
and that's the cool thing. You know, I guess it's kind of where I was getting to eventually. 10 years, we really don't care what people think.
right.
You know, it's like we do what we do, and we go play with. We played with Death Angel. We've played with Goat Whore. We play bands that are way heavier than us.
Right.
They're great.
Yeah.
And we do what we do, and they do what they do, and it's all good. This record, we're not trying to sound like anything but us.
Right.
I think it took the third record to get to where we're happy with our sound. And
I respect that because, you know, in the long run, y'all have to be satisfied with what y'all put out ultimately, you know, and if by all means you want to stay true to yourself, stay true to what you're playing. And obviously there's an audience for y'all, you know, and people dig it.
They still come out. So.
Yeah.
Like I say, that first record, it was a huge undertaking, and I'd written on guitar with it. So it's a different sounding record. We had Zeus mix it, which, you know, he did a great job on it. And it was cool to work with a pro engineer, you know, from my standpoint of recording it, producing it, and then giving it to someone else on that level. And then, you know, working with him on that was just really cool for me. And it was cool to work with, because he had done Queensryche and,
Yeah, man.
you know, Hatebreed and yada, yada, yada. And I was like one song, I was like, he's like, what's up in the middle? I'm like, dude, I want it to sound like that part in Diary of a Madman, you know, by Ozzy. And he's like, gotcha. Boom. He's like, we had some mandolin on it.
Uh-huh.
He's like, I'm trying to get that Battle of Evermore sound. I'm like, sweet. Like,
dude.
So the same cues that everybody else uses, you know, great guy. The second record I did, mix it and all. And I think that sounds more like what we, you know, kind of we found a sound after I got on bass and just one guitar, you know, so we kind of got our thing and it's cool. The new album's pretty much, we got 7 songs. Probably going to do 8 or 9. And after I finish this band, we're going to start actually practicing in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
And if we capture whatever we're going to use, and we're going to start recording like that. Kind of rehearsal, record at the same time.
Like record as a live band, basically.
Yeah. And then just overdub or keep. Yeah, because like the other night, guitar player playing something, he did a solo. He's like, bro, that's the solo that should have been on the album. He can't recreate it.
I know, man.
So
yeah.
It's like we catch, you know, 30, 40, 50%. Because now we're just being 3 pieces so easy.
Mm-hmm.
The decisions are so easy.
Mm-hmm.
The playing off of each other is so easy. You know, you get 5 people in the band. Oh, God.
That's 2 more personalities you got contained.
The group text is way harder.
Oh, gosh.
So we're going to start tracking that. It's going to come out on Argonauta. We re-signed with them. They put out our first record. The second record, we just put out ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I was going through a divorce, and I call that my divorce record. So we didn't even really push that one, and pandemic kind of all coincide. And I'm hoping on the new one with Argonauta getting press and all that, it'll kind of expose or get some promotion on the second record, because I think it's a really good record.
Yeah,
just didn't get the push.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so hopefully it'll kind of get out there too.
So yeah,
but yeah, just playing shows. We got playing the March 6th at Chelsea's with Poor Mag and Green Gasoline. Green Gasoline's awesome.
they really are.
Yes.
I mean, man, those dudes are so fucking talented, and just I really appreciate what they do, man. Like, it's a throwback to just straight up rock.
Oh yeah, when they
You
did
know,
that
it's heavy
Deep-
rock.
They did a Deep Purple cover. I was like, what? They're killing it.
The first time I saw them, and I mentioned it on their episode, you had Pepper Keenan and Pat Bruders of Down was in the audience at Santos, and you know I knew they were legit having a great time watching these dudes on stage.
Yeah.
And dude, it's like they played Highway Star. Pepper felt compelled to join.
I would too.
You know, I mean, he was singing with the guys, and dude, but I think the the moment that I knew that these cats were legit is whenever they played fucking Trapez's Medusa, and I was like, it sounded like no one. Who the fuck does that?
Choke actually did it years ago.
Did they really?
Yes.
Okay.
But other than that, I've thought about covering it.
It's such a great song.
Yes.
You know, fucking Glenn Hughes wrote that shit when he was 16 years old.
And it's a banger.
Yeah, absolute banger.
I'm doing all these covers coming up. I got a whole list, and there's all kind of stuff. And some of these bands, they're killing me because they're putting them out. I'm like, damn it, scratch that one.
Yeah,
they're doing trapeze.
There's a lot of young bands like like Void.
Jesus.
Bro, I mean, their kids. Considering their ages compared to us, I mean, they're kids.
Oh yeah,
and they're fucking killing it right now. Like it's, I couldn't get over it. Like when I first found out about Void, we had some dialogue back and forth over Instagrams. Like when I started the podcast, like dude, like I need to have y'all on, and they're like, oh yes, we did one interview, and it kind of. It really fucked them up because they were misquoted and whatnot. I said, well, dude, look, first and foremost, I'm no journalist. I got the only thing I want to do is just have a good conversation with y'all, see what y'all about, talk about the music, and that's that. You know, there's no hidden agenda here.
No, they're killer, man.
Yeah.
And Kib that did the record, he did a great job on the record. That's why I texted him when I heard the record, and I said, man, I'm glad you got a hold of him. Somebody that knew how to make a record like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, instead of just them trying to do it on their own, or they needed somebody who had some experience that could, like, capture it, and he did.
Right.
He got it.
He really did.
Yeah, it sounds like as good as it sounds better than some of those big thrash records from the 80s. Some of that stuff sounds so terrible when I listen to it now. It's like, geez.
You ever listen to a Sodom record?
Oh, yeah.
Dude. It's the drumming is so disjointed. But I love it. I love it, though.
Yeah, well, it's got soul.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even like to use a click. Like, we haven't used a click on anything, on any electric age stuff.
Yeah.
I don't like using clicks on records. Now, it's become where you have to send in files. Like I was saying about, doing stuff over the internet.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about, being able to. In pandemic, I guess it was always there. Kind of like doing video visits to your doctor was always there. We just didn't use them. And now I don't want to go to my doctor's office. I'm going to do a video visit instead of doing that. But you got to use clicks when you're sending files back and forth overseas or, nobody can really.
I think that's another thing I appreciate about Dark Throne is that at least they mention it on every liner notes of their albums, like no copy and paste, no metronome since 1991 or some shit. It's fucking awesome.
Well, music's supposed to move up and down. I mean, AC/DC, I saw a video probably a year ago where they were actually sitting there and doing a click to AC/DC, and he moves up like from say 1 to 12 to 115, and then back down to 114. It's just that's how it's supposed to move.
Right.
Two process. But yeah, I'm excited about like doing all these covers. I got a bunch of guys I know that can, I can just send them a track and they can lay down a solo, and you send some guy a track he can sing. It's awesome. It's like that's what I like about where Electric Age is. I guess 10 years in, we can pretty much do stuff at our leisure, like not leisure, I guess, but at our own pace.
Right.
If we want to go play somewhere, we usually can, for the most part. We got our own recording stuff, and we're just in a great place.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to high school with a drummer. I've known a guitar player for 25 years, and we're like family.
Yeah. Y'all know how to communicate.
Oh,
Well, not only like we are communicating right here, but like you will know what the guitar player wants to do, and you can follow him, and your drummer is like, everything clicking for y'all.
A lot of times, me and Sean on the guitar, I don't even have to look at what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times we try not to play the same thing sometimes, on purpose. But yeah, I mean, I don't really. I mean, he may be like, "What's one note here?" But we just know what each other's going to do.
Yeah,
and it's just like like saying everybody's in a great headspace and happy and just we've pretty much if we'd have played with King's X, I would have been done right there. Because we had played with Anthrax, we had played, done this and that and this and that.
Yeah.
And we had the King's X show in Baton Rouge, and that's one of my favorite all time.
They're telling me on the phone.
Yes. Yeah. In pandemic. Then they got rescheduled in pandemic. And now it'll never happen. Well, I'll never say never.
Never say never.
Yeah. They're playing in Houston next month. I might go. Might have to make that one.
Yeah. Make that trip and, just,
I've seen them like 3 times. So,
finesse, but have a conversation with the band. Hey, man, we're supposed to do this show. It got canked because of pandemic.
Yeah.
Let's just do it again.
The last time
Let's try it again.
I went up to Doug Pinnick, the singer, bass player.
Yeah.
And I just gave him a big old hug, and I kind of like surprised him. He's like, okay. I was like, dude. I was like, dude, just thank you for the music, man. And they played really good that night. He's like, okay, weirdo.
Yeah, all right,
like,
man.
No, really, no, man.
Yeah.
I went home and I'm not gonna say that part.
Please do.
My ex-wife was like, "You were hugging a gay man?" I was like, "Dude, that's not even part of it. Like, dude's awesome.
Dude's awesome.
Yeah, I'm not a homophobe. What's your problem?"
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's okay because everyone knows I'm gay for Ben Falgood. It's all good.
Hey, Ben, super nice guy. Man.
Oh, I love that dude, man.
I saw him go in. We played a show at Zeppelin's. I don't know if it was Leak or I think it was Slaves of Freedom, and I guess Soylent or Goat Whore was playing one of them. And whoever was putting on the show or supposed to be there wasn't there. And it was 4 bands or whatever, and he just got tired of this shit. He just went, "All right. Everybody line up or something, just huddle up.
Yeah.
You're going on at this time. You're going on at that time. You're doing this. You're doing that." And we're like, all right, cool. Like, he just took it.
If there is one person in the music industry that you could count on to getting the ducks in a row and being all about the business and logistically doing it the right way, Ben Falgood.
Yep. He stepped up. He was the guy.
Dude. And it's, and now, I mean, he's 6 foot something, very towering figure. It's like, all you could do is like, yes, sir. We're yes.
But he's nice as could be.
He is, man.
But when he goes into the mode,
when he goes in that mode, you better watch the fuck out. Yeah, he's like, hey, man, and I know where that comes from. I know that he grew up with a father who was in the army, man, and and that me being in the military, I recognized that the moment I met him, and I was like, oh yeah. Someone in the military raised you. Like, there's no doubt.
I wish Soylent would play again. Man.
You and me both.
Yes.
I'm always chomping at the bit. I'm like Ben.
I've seen, I don't know how many Soylent shows, and there's like 3 of them. That
I just never got to see him.
Oh, really?
I never got to see him.
Dude, when
because
Force of Nature.
I seeing so many clips on YouTube of that band, and it was either my military career or the offshore career that just prevented me from seeing like a lot of good shows. In fact, it wasn't up until like maybe 2 years ago that I saw Goat Whore live for the first time at Poor Boys of all places.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and that's when I met the whole band for the first time, and I was like, dude, like this. I'm so glad it happened that way because God knows I could have seen Goat Whore play Lafayette. Over the years, but I didn't for whatever reason. But I established a friendship with the band that day, and it was right there in the middle of New Orleans at Poor Boys of all places, man. It was an outdoor event, and I got to hold Sammy's SD2, and I was like, dude, this is fucking badass.
I've been there one time. I saw I Hate God there a while back.
That's what he played with, in fact. They played. It was I Hate God.
That wasn't the same show I went to because they weren't playing that night.
Oh, this was like in October of like 2021, maybe 2020.
I think I saw him in 22.
Okay,
I Hate God, but yeah, that's the only time I've ever been there.
Yeah,
pretty cool place. But yeah, Soylent, man, we played with him in Baton Rouge at Spanish Moon, and that's back before Spanish Moon had a good PA.
Yeah,
and I don't know what we sounded like. If it was anything like they sounded, the PA sounded. It was terrible. So I'm sitting there listening to it, and they're just, this. You go up by the stage, it sounds great.
Yeah.
Get back.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're literally gonna blow the PA up. Like the PA is about to tap out any second. I actually got put in a cop car once over them. Not over them, but after their show, so pumped up at Zeppelin's.
Did you go hit somebody or some shit?
Like, I wanted to.
Fucking Sonic Green, bitch.
Yes. And this is like some Mouth Secrets time.
Uh-huh.
Walked outside and threw a beer bottle. I was just, pumped. And I look over and there's a cop standing right there, and I just,
Oh, fuck.
yeah,
I know where I'm going.
Yeah, he gave me damage to property because I damaged the concrete, I guess. Yeah. So I got it taken care of.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. But yeah, we got a signed Organata. So we should have the record's going to be recorded quickly, so it won't take long, and they're ready to go.
Well, be sure to come back.
Vinyl, that's up in the air because, nobody.
Well, I think vinyl pressings are a little bit more accessible now.
Hopefully.
I remember for the longest time there was only 2 in the world that was operating, and like one was like, you call it 1.5 because that one plant burnt down.
Yes.
And you got people like the Taylor Swifts of the world and Adele who wants to like just repress and press all their new shit that's coming out plus the old catalog.
And Metallica just bought half of one.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they just bought. There's one somewhere in the States, I think, or maybe it's not. I don't know. I have to look it up. But yeah, they just bought like 49% of one of the plants.
Oh wow.
Well, that to make sure they can keep their records coming.
Yeah.
But they said they wanted to make it more accessible too. So it's coming around, I hope. So we're gonna see about the vinyl. I don't know if it'll go through Organado or somebody else, but I really want to get vinyl because that's what's selling. I don't even know if new trucks are coming with CD players anymore. So
I don't think they are.
I don't think they are.
Yeah, I got lucky because like I just traded my truck in for a 2019 and it's still a 2019 model has a CD player.
Yeah, that's what I got. 2019.
I was like, thank you God.
Yeah, mine has one. I had to find it.
Right.
I didn't know where it was. Somebody gave me a CD at a gig, and I was like, do I have a CD? Okay, finally.
Yep.
But yeah, we're gonna do that, and like I say, I'm gonna be dropping some covers. I got a bunch of covers that I'm doing just for fun.
Yeah.
I got Chemical City podcast that I was starting. We had we used to do me and Ben Michon from 4MAG, Big Frank, Chemical City Rebels.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing one on Rock, Louisiana a couple of years back. Remember when they were doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We had a show on there. We interviewed like Scott Reeder and
Oh yeah.
all kind of cool people. Did Ed King from Leonard Skinner.
Yeah. I remember you actually sent me that link. Yeah, that was a great one.
Yeah, that was cool. We were just sitting there the whole time like, we're talking. I sent him, showed him the other day how many views it had, and I was like, dude, I can't believe that many people have listened to us. He's like, they're not listening to us at all.
No, they're listening to you, guys.
So I got the Chemical City podcast that is ready to roll. Got some people already lined up. I had it set up before I had to move the studio. It was ready to go, and boom, unexpectedly had to move. So that's coming up, and I got another podcast that me and my old friend that was in execution with me. We want to start, but I'm kind of nervous. Not nervous, but it's like, how you really talk about bands? Like when you want to just not, like Motley Crue.
Like you want to talk shit about them?
Yes. The things that you normally wouldn't say.
Right.
Because we'll talk for an hour. But like, fucking Motley Crue, fucking posers, I can't believe this stupid shit,
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So we're like, let's do that. There's probably an audience for people who want to.
Man, I have seen that there is an audience for everything.
True.
As the saying goes, different strokes for different folks. That plays that plays true. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, Lars is a whiny little, that kind of.
Yeah.
And not like it would be geared towards that kind of shock thing, but just talking about bands and just like me and him have normal conversations. We've been doing it since we were in 9th grade.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try that and see. Like he said, the edit function may be our friend. So We're gonna do that. Just like two
I would
dudes.
love to join that.
Oh yeah, we thought about having people call in.
Oh, dude, like I would love to just join in on some shit talking, and say some things that I wouldn't normally say here. I mean, I pretty much say what I want on here.
Yeah,
but yeah, it would be fun to like join in on the conversation, and say some outlandish shit.
Yeah, but like I say, not geared towards saying that.
Right.
Trying to shock. But anyway, that's gonna be fun. It's just gonna be like two guys and a podcast or whatever name would come up.
Yeah.
And then that sounds like two girls in a cup or something like that. I forgot about that.
Man, it's not every day you hear it, but like whenever someone says two girls one cup, it's like the images.
The first time, you can't
the first time I ever saw that video, I was at a house party, and my friend Will, like, he was living in Austin, and he came back to Lafayette, and he was like, dude, y'all hear about two girls, one cup? We're like, no. Is it like a lesbian thing? He's like, oh, dude.
Watch this.
And he puts it on. And like everybody had like a red Solo cup drink. And dude, we're all like, what the fuck? Like, dude. And yeah, I mean, I think everyone threw up in their cups at one point. I know I did. I had like, I didn't even run out the house. I was on the couch and I was like, blah, 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 blah.
I watched it one time.
One time is all you need, dude.
I'm sure there's worse out there, but I'm good. But like, I used to love watching videos of people getting hurt, face planting.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
I'm
nowadays,
still like that, dude.
I wait till you get a little bit older.
Oh man, no, I'm good.
No, then it starts to hurt you because you're like, oh yeah. You get a little older. You
like
get, that's funny, but
I follow it, like the profile on Instagram, Hall of Meat.
Hall of Meat.
Yeah, and it's a bunch of just skateboarding like bales and just like and I mean fails and dude, like, but they have some of the worst fucking injuries. Like, I tell you what hurts me, because I pulled ligaments in this foot and I broke this ankle as a result of skateboarding. No. It wasn't skateboarding. I'm sorry. I jumped off a third-story balcony in Lafayette.
Oh,
yeah,
good times.
Well, my cousin was chasing me, and he's a lot bigger than me, so it was instinctual because I didn't want to get my ass whipped, and I was like, like, and there was some girls, want to impress, and that's what you do when you're 15 years old, jumping off a third-story balcony. But anyway, so like, every time I see a skateboarding incident or any type of injury that involves feet, like if someone's ankle gets folded the wrong way, it's like, oh,
yes,
shit. Like, and like that does it for me, man.
Yeah, that's
like,
how I kind of have got. I've cracked both of them, just hairline cracks.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, now it's like, no, bubble wrap me. But man, I've always loved Lafayette. I've had some good shows and good times in Lafayette. But y'all's traffic now sucks.
Oh, it does. But shit, Baton Rouge is no better. What the fuck?
Oh no, Baton Rouge is horrible.
It's terrible.
I'm not taking up for Baton Rouge.
Okay.
I mean, I am Baton Rouge. But
I am just anti-traffic anywhere. Like I cough it up to age. But yeah, I guess the older I get, the more ornery I get behind the wheel.
I don't remember Lafayette being this bad though.
Oh, it's
like
bad.
We used to have a thing. We were playing a show. What's the name of that club? Do y'all have a club called not the Metro
Metropolis?
Yeah, that was it. Yes,
on Johnson Street.
Yes,
yeah.
We were playing with Azabat on like a Monday or Tuesday.
I
night.
went to that show.
Did you?
I did.
Oh, it was packed.
It was hot.
Yes,
It was very hot.
I think there's actually video of that show somewhere.
Oh yeah,
not of us.
Okay,
of course we weren't worth enough tape.
There are two shows that stand out. 3, because I saw Azabat play Metropolis, and I saw them play twice at Main Street in Brobridge.
Were you there when after Audie died, that show?
No.
Oh, that was bad. I mean, they were great, but it was sad.
Yeah, it was very
But
sad.
Metropolis, me and, of course, we thought, all right, let's go get some beer. Me and my buddy. So we got lost in Lafayette. And this turned into, if you're lost in Lafayette, take a left.
Pretty much.
That's what. So we just kept taking lefts. Yeah. So we got like a case or 12-pack of beer or whatever. Well, when I left the club, there was nobody in it.
Mm-hmm.
We get lost. By the time we get back, band's on the side of the club on the side, and they're like, "Dude, where you better get? We gotta go." So I step out the car. I'm like, "All right." I walk in the door. Stage I think was to the right of the door. I go up there. I hit the bass, turn the volume up, kind of scrape the strings. I hear it. Turn around. Fucking place is packed. I'm like, holy shit, where is it?
Yeah.
Boom, we start. It was killer, though. That's one of my good memories of
Because the cool thing about, like, metal shows is in Lafayette, it's like, it's not just Lafayette people coming. You got people from New Iberia, from fucking Karen Crow, from, where at Brobridge. Like, just gonna flock to see, their favorite local metal band.
And see, we always just thought that was all Lafayette.
Mm.
Like DeBerry is Lafayette, but no. But it's the same way over there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm from Prairieville. I'm not from
Gonzales. Yeah.
I'm from Dutchtown. I'm not from. Okay, it's all Baton Rouge to me.
It's all Baton Rouge. Yeah. You live a little further out of the city of Baton Rouge.
Well, I mean, I guess Lafayette and Baton Rouge both have just kind of grown.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no separation.
Because we got to get the south end of Broussard, Youngsville.
That's all Lafayette.
It's all Lafayette. It's all Lafayette. It really is.
I think it changes for me. I guess Abbeville or somewhere. But I used to love coming to Lafayette, man. Had a lot of good times. I saw Korn at Grant Street. That was cool.
Okay, so I mentioned this before, but I did not go to that show, but I was in Toys Music with Dave whenever Dave Hubble owned it, and Korn was like there in the store, and they were fucking signing their release and whatnot, and I had no idea who the fuck they were at the time, and then like all of a sudden, like after that appearance, like
they blew
up.
They were actually blowing up.
They were blowing up. They were big in California in their home state already, but then like once, like in Louisiana, I mean, like in Lafayette, like once I heard, I was like, holy shit, this shit's it's going fucking viral. It
was like that was like the Marilyn Manson thing we did.
Yeah,
they had signed that contract before they hit. So, which they could have bought him out of the contract, I'm sure, because it wasn't, I'm sure, that much. But they had signed it because they were already, I think, Blind had hit MTV at that point.
Yeah.
And my buddy was like, dude, they're playing at Grant Street. And when I tell you that's one of the most vicious shows I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's documented. It's on YouTube and everything.
I found it, yeah. And I was like right up in it. I mean, people climbing on the
they were climbing on the beams and the ceiling and shit. And
it was when they do that, suck my dick. Oh, they did Clown and all that stuff. I liked the first Korn record. I didn't really like much that came after that.
That
album sounded different. I never heard anything like it, and it's got a lot, except for the Daddy thing.
I was a big fan of the first Korn record and the first Deftones because I thought that it was something different.
Yeah.
But then when all the copycats of new metal started coming through, it was like, man,
But like I say, first Korn, it sounded different sonically, and that goes back to me just being engineering kind of years. I was like, wow, because they were using big muffs. At that point, nobody was using big muffs to get that down, and they were tuned down. But I'm glad I got to see that show. We stopped somewhere. I was in the back of my friend's truck. How did he do it? Did something. We stopped somewhere at a red light. And he's screaming all this stuff at this guy. Oh, it was crazy. I'd have to ask him again. I called him on the way here to try to remember some stuff, and I guess he's busy.
I was
you can cut that part out because it was hilarious, but I forget exactly how it went. But he tried to sabotage
the first Deftones show I saw was whenever they were touring around the Fur, and I thought the funniest shit that Chino ever pulled, the funniest stunt is like, he put the guitar on, and he was just playing simple open chords, and he was like, and this is whenever he was in fucking full on ecstasy, alcohol riddled era, and he was like, everyone look, I'm Gavin, from Bush.
Yeah,
I was dying laughing, dude. I was like, oh, dude. because I was seeing someone at the time that was like big into Bush and
Little. I put on a '90s rock station like the other day. Some of that stuff wasn't. I'm not saying Bush, but some of it wasn't as bad as I remember it being.
No, I tell you, one band that goes under the radar, at least from some of the people that I talk to on a day-to-day basis, Hum. Remember Hum?
I remember the name.
They had that big hit, Stars.
I'm sure I know it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it do, but like, I think back to like some of the radio rock or the radio play that we had in late 90s. I mean, so much heavier than what it is today.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's so much, had way more substance. At least Hum was one of those bands for me that did. And I keep trying to think back to like the days of 100.7 of like all the bands that I got introduced to by Delaney, that radio personality. And he played some really cool shit. And I cannot think of, I mean, Our Lady Peace was big with him, and
yeah, a lot of stuff.
And he played some shit from like overseas, like Scotland, and like the band Spoon and all that, and like some of it was just like, dude, like what?
Yeah,
kind of like, you know, open. It broadened my musical palette, if you will.
Yeah, and some of that, you know, there was when Nirvana came out, you know, it changed everything, and then you had the new metal, you had the, you know, this and that. And usually the first wave is always the best, but
Yeah.
like I don't like change a lot of times, so I disregard some bands just because they're of whatever genre is hitting. Oh, the new metal bands, and then you go back. I'm not saying I like new metal, but if you go back and listen to it, you go, oh well, wait, some of those bands were actually good, you know.
Deftones was definitely.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can't think of one, but I'm just saying genres, you know, how when they change, it's usually, there's more in it than sometimes we might give credit to it.
Yeah.
You know, I listened to some Stone Temple. First time I saw Stone Temple Pilots, I thought, God, that's Alice in Chains ripoff. What is this?
I thought it was a Pearl Jam ripoff. That's what I
yeah.
thought at the time. But like,
Go back and listen to it. It's
actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I even like Scott Weiland's self-release. Like that.
I don't think I ever listened to it.
Dude, it's like he was thrown out. Or he was kicked out of STP during that time because he was.
Yeah.
He always battled his addictions and whatnot. But that particular record, 12 Bar Blues, like he admits, like all over just about every song, like everything it's his story of battling whatever. And it's like, man, he had some musicianship. Either he had surrounded himself with really good musicians in the studio, or if he wrote all that shit himself, good for him. But he made it work.
Yeah, he was a talented dude.
Yeah.
There's been, I hate to see the stuff like that, like Janie Lane from Warrant. I mean, only because I did a gig with Warrant, Run Sound,
Mm-hmm.
and that dude was way more talented than I ever thought he was. Like, uber talented.
Yeah.
Super nice guy. I mean, Warrant, I know, I get
Yeah,
it. Cherry Pie guy.
Yeah. Like,
Well, actually, that was at Papa Joe's, and they blew the PA. They blew the breaker.
mm-hmm.
So I'm trying, but the monitors are still up. Place is packed. I'm trying to get the power back up on the mains, and he just goes up to the piano the keyboard since the monitors are working.
Sort of good.
Plays Bohemian Rhapsody
Oh wow.
on the keys, sings it, nails the, and I'm sitting there trying to get the breaker going. Is he fucking doing Bohemian Rhapsody? Holy shit! And I mean, killing it.
Yeah.
And I found a version on YouTube
Oh no.
of him doing it.
Damn.
Because I was like, did I imagine that?
Yeah.
Or did he really do that?
Yeah.
But he married that girl, Bobby
And Cherry
Brown.
Pie.
Yeah, she's from Baton Rouge.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Central, which is right next. I mean, it's Baton Rouge. So he had ties to Baton Rouge. Anyway, super nice guy, super talented. Then after that, I kind of, but same story.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't get away from being the cherry pie guy. So
No, you can't.
there's a lot of guys out there.
What was that? MTV was just blowing them up, like in the height of the glam metal days. Fucking Warren came out with that song, Down Boys.
Oh yeah, when they dropped to their knees and down, and they were going back and forth. Yes,
I was like, dude, who the fuck is like? I mean, it was made for women, you know, they were trying to gravitate towards the female audience, obviously, but it's like, dude, like. As a guy, you're looking at that, like, I mean, I was like probably 10, 11 years old when I'm watching this shit.
You do.
And I'm like, what in the fuck is going on here?
That was the end of all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they started out, you know, like not them, but you know, metal started out with good intentions, and then it started to get. Yeah, that's why Nirvana was looking back. I mean, yeah, it all makes sense.
It all makes sense. Like, but for me, I mean,
there was some garbage coming.
There was some garbage shit, dude, and like
Firehouse, all kind of shit.
I'm thinking about bands like you mentioned Firehouse, Enough's Enough, fucking Poison.
Yeah.
Like I mean I was witness to all that just as you were, and but man, like whenever Headbangers Ball came out, like in '96 or some shit, or I forgot what.
Oh no, well I mean it was in the '80s.
Oh yeah, '80s.
You might call it like the second one.
No. I mean, I caught the first one because I would go to my grandma's house in Houma and watch it because we didn't have cable at the time, and but dude, like, you had shit like Anthrax, Slayer playing, and like that's what I was like, dude, like, why they don't play this shit during the day like they play the fucking Def Leppards of the world and all that.
Well, that's why coming out of you know, AC, because I mean, I was into AC/DC, Kiss, of course.
Yeah.
You know, all that stuff in the late '70s, which was my early childhood, and then going into the metal stuff once it started getting Poison and Warrant and all. That's why thrash was just my thing.
Yeah.
You know, death metal, and it was like anti all that.
Exactly.
Crap, I remember one time in the high school bands we were playing the Catfish Festival.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. We had our own trailer in the back.
Whoa, now.
Yeah, they had like a little office trailer. And we actually talked about wearing spandex.
Oh, shit.
Well, it was that time. I mean, everything was, that. And me and the guitar player sat in the back, and we had them. We'd borrowed them from girls we knew. And I was like, dude, we're going to do this? He was like, what do you think? I was like, nah. He was like, nah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Well, but I mean, at that time, it was what everybody was. So we didn't do it.
Yeah. See, that's why I feel like I'm so grateful for like the cousins I had growing up in Dulac, because they were like my older brothers, figuratively speaking, and they were all into skateboarding, and whatever cool music was playing on the videos that they bought, like the Powell Peraltas and the Santa Cruz's videos. Man, like they had so much good shit.
Yeah,
and the soundtracks to the skate videos was just like that's what we would jam.
It definitely fucking wasn't more.
No, it wasn't. No, man. Like, and like one big band that stands out was like that's how I figured out who Celtic Frost was. Yeah. It's because of a skate video soundtrack, and I was like, dude, I was hooked. Like I was doomed. Like, from the get go. Like this is the direction I'm going in.
Yeah.
And like everything macabre and everything like scary, like that attracted me.
Yeah.
Like Cousins had the fucking Ozzy Osbourne Bark at the Moon fucking door poster.
Oh yeah.
And the Blackie Lawless shit, like from Wasp. I was like, bruh. I was like, what is this? I need it. I need to hear it.
I've never seen Ozzy. My daughter asked me that yesterday. You ever saw Ozzy? And I was like, no, I don't know how. Mm-hmm. I mean, I had chances. I regret it now, but
I think my sister just saw him like recent or was supposed to.
We'll be able to see the hologram one day.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Him and Dio together,
dude. What? That would be sick. Like if you have like the remaining members of Black Sabbath and like Ozzy hologrammed and Dio hologram.
Tony Martin doesn't get one.
No.
I got a friend that would fight over that, but
you know what I saw? Oh, where was it? I'm trying to. Shit. I went to a record store recently, and I don't think it was in Norway when I was on my trip. It was when I got back. shit, where was it? In New Orleans. Someone had a fucking Live Evil record.
Yeah, well, I think it's been repressed.
It's repressed? Okay.
Or there was, they may have just repressed it. Yeah. Or it's coming out. I don't know, but yeah.
But that's the
Yeah.
that's the album that like fucking they kicked Tony Morton out because
Oh no. That's Dio, Live Evil, isn't it?
no.
Which one's the live one with Dio?
Yeah, I gotta fact check myself.
You need Joe Rogan like Jamie.
Yeah, I know. I need a Jamie, man. I'm not there yet.
So me and my buddy were talking about when we do ours. Yeah, because we always got to look up. Who was in that band again? I'm not sure. But it was a lot. Yeah, Heaven and Hell, Mob Rules.
Yeah. It was Ronnie James Dio. I stand corrected.
Yeah, because his version of the song Black Sabbath is cool.
Yeah, and you had Vinny on drums.
Yeah. Carmine got his ass kicked by his little brother. That's another thing we're talking about doing on the podcast. But anyway,
yeah. So man, I got past that point. You can't leave without giving me the 6 albums you can't live without.
6 albums I can't live without.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I didn't
see. You're in the fire department, so if you know how much time you have before the whole, the house goes up in flames, and you got to grab something. You got to grab the 6 albums that.
Well, let's see. Live After Death, Maiden. Probably All the World's a Stage, Rush. That's 2. It's got to be a Van Halen, but which one? Probably the first one, because that was a game changer for me. Let's see.
Not with Sammy Hagar.
Oh, come on now. That's a whole nother podcast. Paranoid, Black Sabbath.
Oh yeah.
Of course, it's tough. The first one is just as good. I mean, first one's a banger. Back to back, Led Zeppelin 1, and probably. Well, I'm leaving out like a whole. Then I'd have to take for 6. I'd have to take Among the Living, Rain and Blood, Master of Puppets, and Peace Cells.
Shit, that's 6 right there, son. I like that. You get a for the 6. Boy.
I need one of those.
You do. I'm gonna. I've been every episode goes by. Like I have a bunch of new sound clips that I need to incorporate on those buttons you see that are not illuminated, and I'll have them for the next time. Oh yeah, but everyone loves the whole.
What the fuck?
Man, I didn't get to use it a few times today, and I was like, man,
Wow.
but there it is, Emma.
Cool.
The kids love Emma.
Ah.
But Jason, man, thanks so much for coming over. It was a great conversation, man. We got to do it again sometime.
Yeah, definitely get something else going on, and maybe I can come back and promote my podcast. Or you can come on mine.
I'm game.
I do the Zoom, so
Hey, I got Zoom too. I got Zoom.
Yeah,
Shit.
we can do that.
Hell yeah, man.
All right.
So you gonna go to the festival?
Yeah, as long as it's not raining, I don't want to get my hair messed up.
Boys got jokes. Well, shit, man. Again, this is Jason Ogle from Electric Age. He also has a recording studio. So if you maybe in need of recording,
Yeah.
again, well, I'll
Volume 10 Studios.
Volume 10 Studios. Okay, I like that. And get in touch with your boy Jason, and I'll definitely post your social medias.
Cool.
On the episode captions. So thanks for coming out, my man.
All right, man. Thanks for having me.
If you want to be part of the Tales from the Riff podcast, shoot me an email at mo@talesfromtheriff.org. moe@talesfromtheriff.org. Or hit me up on the socials. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Just Google search Tales from the Riff, and you'll find us.